Good morning.
Good morning.
I am Delegate Jennifer Carroll Foy, and I represent Prince William and Stafford in the Virginia House of Delegates. I'm here to talk about my bill, HB 123. I would like to thank Virginia Interfaith for all of their hard work and dedication to such an important issue. So one of my first introductions to wage theft was when I was an Arlington public defender, and I had a client, and I didn't understand how he was eligible for a public defender, because you have to be like over 100% below the poverty line in order to qualify for court-appointed counsel. And I knew he was a construction worker. And so I asked him, I said, well, what's going on with your job? Were you recently fired? And so that's when he informed me that he was diligently working, going to work every day, almost completed a project in a building very close to where the courthouse was. And when he went back to work to get his paycheck, the contractor told him, if you come back here, I will call ICE and call the police. And so although he had worked for months, he was denied a paycheck. Wage theft also reared its ugly head when I encountered a woman who had actually worked an ample amount of hours in overtime, and her employer refused to pay her and said, we don't have the funds to give it to you right now. And that right now became months and years that went by, that she actually worked for free when the understanding was that she was going to be paid. So we are starting a new era where workers in Virginia get the dignity they deserve. We are creating a new commonwealth where everyone, regardless of where you live or where you're from, gets the opportunity to raise a family and live a life in the middle class if you work for it. House Bill 123 would do a number of things. First, it would allow employees who are victims of wage theft to be awarded 3 times their lost wages in court. And second, it would open up contractors to liability if their subcontractors engage in wage theft or other illegal activities to deliberately harm workers. So let me be clear. The majority of employers in the Commonwealth, they do right by their employees. They treat them well. What this bill is aimed to do is to target those bad actors. If you are deliberately defrauding workers of their wages, if you are literally stealing from workers and families, if you are stealing from the state, from the Commonwealth of Virginia, by depriving workers of their pay and us of our taxes, then we will come after you. You will be held accountable. We don't have any place for companies who take advantage of workers here in the Commonwealth. When companies steal wages from workers, they are not only hurting the worker, but they are depriving a person of their ability to pay their rent, of their child to go to college, and even hurting the chance of putting food on the table. It's time for Virginia to lift communities up. It's time to prosecute bad actors. It's time to make Virginia not just #1 for business, but #1 for workers. I'll open it up to any questions. Yes.
Is there an attorney fees provision in the bill?
So I believe in this version of the bill, there is an attorney's fees provision. Reasonable attorney fees, that's provided.
That's very helpful.
Yes. Any other questions?
Yes, does this also require the employer to hire the person back if they get fired?
No, that is not a provision that's in this bill, that you would have to, the employer would be mandated or required to rehire the employee. Any other questions? No? Well, thank you all for your time and attention to this matter, and please support passing this HB 123. Thank you.